Most of the story about the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre centers around the destruction of what was known as Black Wall Street, a thriving 35 square block area with Greenwood Avenue running through the center. Those stories will tell you that a black man named Dick Rowland tripped in an elevator, causing a white woman named Sarah Page to scream. Newspapers printed this into action, framed it as an attempt at sexual assault, causing an angry mob to swell at the courthouse where Rowland was being held. Tension ignited after a group of armed black men, mostly World War I veterans, arrived to defend Rowland, and the mob attacked. With a 26 to 1 advantage, the white mob burned, looted, and killed their way through one of the wealthiest black communities of the time, leaving an estimated 300 dead. Many of the victims' bodies have still not been found. For most, this is where the story ends. Now I have to repeat that. There was 26 to 1 advantage by the white mob. And if you notice, there's never a situation where it's 1 on 1 or 2 on 2 or 10 on 10. It always has to be a decided advantage before the white mob decides to attack. That's just history, folks. I'm just telling it like it is. Be that as it may, what isn't discussed enough is the story of how Black Wall Street rebuilt and how it can continue to build in the 21st century. The story of Greenwood's rebirth began just hours after the massacre. On June 2nd, 1921, the all white Tulsa Real Estate Exchange attempted to take over the black owned business district. By June 7th, with the encouragement of the Tulsa Real Estate Exchange, the Tulsa City Council voted 4 to nothing to pass Fire Ordinance number 2156, effectively preventing Black Wall Street from being rebuilt. The newspaper at the time, the Tulsa Tribune, applauded the move, according to Randy Crable's book, Tulsa 1921, with the paper stating that because of the building requirements laid on the district, it is believed impossible that the Negroes will again build there. So, in essence, not only was the town destroyed, but immediately there was a conspiracy by the Tulsa Real Estate Exchange and others, and which was applauded by the Tulsa Tribune, that black people would never be able to build again in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Keep in mind, a thriving black town, one of the most successful black towns in world history. Phil Armstrong, a Tulsa resident and the president and CEO of the Oklahoma Center for Community and Justice, says the devastating massacre is only half the story. In fact, the city of Tulsa began rebuilding the Greenwood district almost immediately after the riots. By 1942, the zone was home to 242 black owned businesses, including bowling alleys, hotels, and boutiques, double the amount that had been there in 1921. The focus was to get the economy of Greenwood up and running again as soon as possible, Armstrong says. Now, we often hear about the terrible mob tax and the destruction of Black Wall Street, but this is a story that we rarely hear about, if ever. The black the residents there began immediately to rebuild, with no help from the government, I might add. So that right there should tell us something. If we want to get anything done, we are going to have to do it for ourselves. The truth, the sad truth is, we can rely on no one. There is no one that has our interests at heart. No one, absolutely no one. We are on our own. And if we don't know this now, then we will never know it. Again, we never hear about this history, but Black Wall Street fought back with help from black attorneys B.C. Franklin, Isaac Spears, and P.A. Chappell, along with Mather Elks. Judge W.B. Williams ruled that the ordinance was illegal, giving black residents in Tulsa a path to rebuild. Now, today, I'm happy to say that the legacy and resilience of Black Wall Street of Tulsa is inspiring a new generation to rebuild black business districts across the nation. From St. Louis to Chicago, citizens are working to put black commercial districts back on the map, and in Tulsa in particular. Now, here's a word from our sponsor.
Hello, my name is Howard Dorsey. I'm 54 years old. I'm here to talk about my experience with Herbal Results. Um, I was getting sick, so I went to the doctor. They told me that my blood pressure was high, my cholesterol was borderline or high, so I was very sick. Sometimes I thought I was dying at some point. And I ordered a bottle of olive leaf extract. This is how the bottle comes in. And within the first probably week and a half, 2 weeks, I checked my blood pressure and it was back down to normal. It was like 120 over 80. My cholesterol went down to 125. I definitely believe that olive leaf extract from Herbal Results saved my life. And that's real. I recommend it to everyone in my family, my friends, and we've seen a lot of results in that manner as well.
Purchase now at herbalresults.net.
Did you know that there were Black Wall Street movements going on and offline that has been ongoing? For instance, there was one started by Dr. Michael Carter Sr. in 1998. Now, this Black Wall Street movement established districts around the globe in the spirit of the original Black Wall Street district of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street districts can be recognized as an urban area that is a thriving center for the right spirit, businesses, industry, and culture, and is a commercial strip that is 50 to 70% or more businesses owned by African Americans. This will enable local organizers and Black Wall Street district leaders to focus on their initiatives within their potential district. Leaders consider the people to be involved. District presidents make sure that the group is balanced and no special interests dominate. Buying Black has been at the center for the fight for civil rights since Reconstruction. In the days after emancipation, Black businesses flourished. Though the government never delivered on the promise of 40 acres and a mule, many Black Americans were able to build thriving general stores, barbershops, funeral homes, and several other very successful businesses. After all, let's face it, we only had ourselves to turn to. No one else supported our efforts. And many people, as I do, believe that integration was one of the worst things to ever happen to Black businesses. But in recent years, as Black culture sets trends but often doesn't see any profits from it, many Black consumers are making a pointed return to spending their money at Black owned businesses. There was a time when people looking for Black owned businesses to patronize had a hard time finding them. Now, a new wave of entrepreneurs have created businesses, e commerce platforms, brick and mortar shops, subscription box and pop up markets that primarily or exclusively sell Black owned products. The e commerce platform, We Buy Black, may be the closest to meeting the big box model. Along with its marketplace, it also plans to create a supermarket called Soul Food Market in Atlanta. We Buy Black stands out for selling products you would think would be hardest to find. That is, Black versions of things like batteries, laundry detergent, and dog food. Another online app is the Black Wall Street app. Now you can get anything that you want on these platforms and more. If they're being sold, there's a Black person that's selling it. Trust me. Now we just have to do a little legwork, but it's worth it. Just think, folks, remember, Black people have a spending power of $1.5 trillion, what amounts to the ninth largest nation. We just have to turn inward. We are not poor. We have to stop thinking poor. We are rich, and we have to start acting like we're rich, and we have to start spending our money with ourselves. Because the truth is, no one else does. No one spends money with us, but we spend our money with everybody. For an example, a dollar has a lifespan of 28 days in the Asian communities, 19 days in white communities, and a mere 6 hours in black communities. Every other community profits from the majority black consumer bases without reinvesting in the community. Even though black Americans spend 9 times more on their hair than other races, Korean Americans own 70% of the beauty supply stores in America. And that's just one example. We overspend on everything. We have to find a way to redirect our spending and to redirect our minds. Everyone else's ice is not colder, their water is not wetter, and their fire is not hotter. This new wave of black entrepreneurship is just as motivated by social and economic uplifts as it is by profits. By returning to the collective economic principles of yesteryear, the entrepreneurs and consumers are determined to replicate the success of businesses in the past. Now, with this awakening, this is an attempt to correct our spending habits and reverse the trends of the past. Black business owners have a median net worth of 12 times higher than that of a black person who doesn't own a business, according to the Association for Enterprise Opportunity. So, not only is there a movement to rebuild Black Wall Street in Oklahoma, but to rebuild all the Black Wall Streets throughout the country. Because don't forget, there were over 100 communities that were destroyed, but black thriving communities that were purposely destroyed. And now that we have this consciousness, it's time for us to turn within. Our answer lies within, it does not lie without. And I am determined and I am confident that once we put our mind to it, y'all know how we do. Nothing can stop us. We excel at everything. And now is that time for us to look within. Thanks for watching the Black Excellence and Abundance channel, where Black history is every day. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, thou art rich.